My boyfriend, 24 meters, lets me, 23F, run a single vending machine at his shop. We've been dating for almost 2 years. He is the manager of a car repair shop, so he let me put my vending machine in his shop to make money. My job, I refill the machine and I take care of the machine if there are any problems. This morning, the credit card reader wasn't working, so he called me 10 times from 8:37 am to 10:10 am. I didn't answer because I was reading my book, chilling out, and I didn't have my phone on. I finally saw all his texts and calls at 11 am. He is really angry with me. He is really stressed out at work because the shop is extremely busy from 7 am to 6 pm. He's had to take over one of his coworkers' jobs too because she has been sick for a while, so he's basically working 2 people's jobs. He said that he doesn't need this extra stress with the vending machine problems, and the fact that I didn't answer him until 2 hours and 23 minutes later caused his anxiety to spike. I've apologized to him several times. He is still extremely angry. I'm not looking forward to him coming home tonight because I just feel like he's going to stonewall me or yell at me or break up with me. How can I calm him down? Update. This is a text I sent to my boyfriend just now. I understand that me leaving my phone on silent probably made you look bad in front of your coworkers and customers, and I know this is my fault. I'm sorry and I'll try to do better. I'll try to do better about answering the vending machine related phone calls. I will do my best to leave my phone on so you can reach me and be available during business hours. I understand that this was an added stress. We need to come up with a troubleshooting system in the fall for when I'm unavailable because I'll be busy teaching and I cannot accept phone calls/texts while teaching. From now on, if I cannot be reached, I can make you an out of order sign and you can just tape it to the machine so no one will bother you about it. Does that sound fair to you? I'll probably repeat it to him when he gets home too. How can I make this fair to him? How can I make him not feel used? There is this possibility he stuck his neck out with his boss to put his girlfriend's vending machine in instead of going with a bigger company. Then, when it breaks down, various eyes are on him thinking perhaps trusting him with this matter was the wrong thing to do. This can hurt his reputation on the job. This is yet another reason not to mix family/friends with business. Situations like this can come up. Thank you for opening my eyes to this perspective. I wish I hadn't made this mistake today. I'm really concerned about the reaction you fear from him. Is he normally explosive? Extremely. I hate it. His screaming makes me run into the bathroom and cry on the bathroom floor because I just don't know what to do to calm him down. When I bring this up to him, his response is, well, don't piss me off in the first place. As an owner of a vending machine business, actually, one thing you may want to try, if you trust your BF, is give him a spare key to the machine so he can open it up and get the customers their items if their money is eaten, especially until your credit card reader is fixed. If you aren't going to have time to handle these machines while working, it's time to sell though. They are a commitment for sure. My locations will call me, and in the next hour I will be there no matter what. It's a service business and you have to serve your locations, just like they are people. Thank you so much for your input. My boyfriend was given a spare key to vending machine back in May. I really appreciate your perspective. Just apologize for missing the calls. Maybe people were continuously telling him it was broken, and he was already stressed out. Just say you're sorry, and if you're supposed to be available during business hours to troubleshoot any problems, then tell him you'll make sure your phone is on in the future. At the end of the day, he let you put your machines there, so you guys have to work out a system for troubleshooting. People are allowed to get upset and be angry. I know sometimes I get really pissed with my husband and need to not talk to him, or things can get heated. If you're humble, then I think you can work it out. I'm really confused though. The whole point of a vending machine is that it doesn't need people tending to it asterisk. It's automatic. If a vending machine is down, you put up a sign and move on. Not being available asterisk to fix a vending machine for 2.5 hours is not an emergency. It's not even a problem. Your BF is, at best, weird. Or he might just be an asshole. I used to work at a department store, and we had about 6 vending machines in our break room. A lot of people got lunch from them. The serviceman came once a week. If it broke, before he came back, they put a sign on it, and he fixed it the next week. It's sincerely not that serious. This could be a good solution as she's starting a day job soon. If you really believe he would break up with you over this, then this man is too anxious and demanding for a relationship. It's not that hard to slap an out of order sign and move on with his day. I'm having a hard time even believing he's so busy. If he had the time to call you that many times over a broken vending machine, is he normally this unreasonable? That said though, it doesn't sound like this setup is worth all this for $60 a month. You're probably better off just calling this off. Thank you so much for your comment. I really appreciate your perspective. People in these comments thinking customers are entitled to a car mechanic's vending machine for their survival. Lol. I work somewhere with machines, and they break, and are down for days and even weeks sometimes. Also, the machine's rent is twice what he pays her here. This is the first time you left your phone off, shouldn't be that big a deal. Also, vending machine service calls are not this prompt. If you weren't his GF, and he called a company, the company would tell him they'd send someone over between 11 AM and 4 PM or potentially the next day or late in the week. Just apologize for forgetting the ringer was off. The out of order sign is all that is needed. I'm confused. It's a vending machine. A nice convenience, but it's not like the power went out in the shop or something actual crucial to it functioning as intended. Vending machines break down occasionally. People say damn it, that sucks and go on with their day. Why is this one of such godly importance? What worries me is that you have a genuine fear that this would result in him stonewalling you, yelling at you, and breaking up with you. That is not a normal response to a situation like this. Yes, it's okay for him to be stressed and angry, but this is worrying. His angry responses are explosive. They are terrifying. His screaming is terrifying. I don't know how to explain it. That apology text is a disaster. Someone told me how to fix it. They said to just say I'm wrong. I'm sorry. How can I fix it? What do you think of that? I'm not really sure how a vending machine would cause him stress. It's as simple as putting an out of order sign on it, or not, and just leaving it be. But it sounds to me like all the work stress is making him need to unload it all somewhere, and this just happens to be you. You're right. Unfortunately, I have noticed a lot of his work stress comes home with him. He's massively overreacting to this. I'd tell him to stick a sign on it and let me know once, and I'll fix it when I'm able. He said that if I did only this, then I'm incompetent in business. Is he not an adult? Can he not figure out how to make an out of order sign and tape it on there, then walk away? If a vending machine is making him anxious, how does he operate a business? JFC. Yeah, this seems like a storm in a teacup to me. Out of order signs are normal. Heaps of big vending machine companies won't fix it in 2 hours either. I don't know what to do about your BF, but if you want to run a business and you have no employees, you should be available during business hours to answer phone calls if things go wrong, or have an answering service. If he had used a diff company, would he have had to wait 2.5 hours for someone to respond to a service call? You think it's no big deal, but he's the shop manager and shop operation or lack thereof reflects badly and is on him. He'd have to wait days or a whole week to get it fixed for double what he pays her. Sure, he'd be able to talk to customer service over the phone, but they wouldn't do anything that day. A text to her, and he has nearly same day service for half the price of a normal beverage/snacks in the US, is all I personally know about company. IDK. Maybe it's just because I have experience working in the food and service industry, but kids working at McDonald's handle machines being down and angry customers for minimum wage. This guy needs to get a grip. Your text reads like groveling a bit hard. People miss calls. A vending machine breakdown is not like someone was dying and you, a doctor, failed to respond, and now they're dead. FFS. I can make you an out of order sign. He's a big boy. He has pens, paper, and tape at his shop. He could very well make his own sign, slapped it on there, and called it a day. He needs to manage his anxiety better, not you. He's taking his personal stress out on you, and you need to have some boundaries on being willing to accept so much responsibility for it. Thank you for your constructive criticism. He's a manager and his decision was to waste his time calling you 10x instead of 30 seconds to write and tape an out of order note on the machine. And now he's going to come home and freak out some more. Holy overreaction, Batman. You should not ever assume the responsibility, take ownership of managing his anxiety. Slippery slope. He needs to step up and get his S*** together. Honestly, if he feels used by something so insignificant in the grand scheme of life, reconsider if he's the right partner for you. Thank you for your honesty. I don't see why this is that big of a deal for him. Just put an out of order sign on it and call it a day. I feel like 1/3 of the vending machines I see are out of order already. It's a car repair shop, not a drink shop. Your boyfriend appears to be mental, love. It's a vending machine, for Christ's sake. This is a bit ridiculous. He could have written out of order on a piece of paper and taped it up. I understand he might be stressed, but the problem has a simple solution and he spiraled. Personally, if a BF of mine acted so angry over something so small, he would be an ex-BF. You've apologized enough. Thank you for your response. Yeah, he's typically so stressed out, he often spirals. I'm just going to set the personal relationship aside for a moment. Professionally speaking, if I was in your industry and a *literal psycho called me 10 times in the course of 90 minutes because the vending machine wasn't working, I'd drop him as a customer. I'd have the machine removed from that shop that day. Not worth it. His shop is really busy from 7 AM to 6 PM. Yet he had the time to call you 10 times in rapid succession? He's a child. His emotional maturity isn't there. I promise. Thank you so much for your response. I didn't think about it like that. When you say your vending machine, is it your avenue? If so, he's got nothing to be pissed about, just a minor inconvenience. Plus it sounds like you still managed to deal with it the same day. It's supposed to be shared income between the two of us. And yes, I did deal with it and get the problem fixed on the same day. I'm confused. How is this vending machine so vital to the operations of his car repair shop that he had to hassle you incessantly like this instead of just sticking an out of order sign on the machine? I would say he should probably be worrying more about his actual business than your candy side hustle.